Well, Brandon just walked in. Yeah. You get a window to cancel that?
Nope.
So go ahead and run.
Yep.
All right. We'll go ahead and call to order. Start with the pledge. Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You bow your heads, we'll start with a prayer. Dear Lord, we come to you today to ask for your guidance and protection from all that seek to go against us. Watch over us and let us make the best decision for the city and everyone in it. Amen. The minutes show everyone's here. Roger may be joining us late. He had some doctor's things to get to. Start off with the minutes from April 10th. Anybody have any questions or corrections?
Make a motion to approve.
Motion approved. Second.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor? All opposed? Passed 5-0. Go on to claims. Anybody have any questions on claims? Seek a motion to approve.
Make a motion to approve claims.
I'll second.
Motion by Brandon, second Stacy. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? All right, 5-0 on that as well. Anybody have any old business? Joe?
I do not.
Anybody down here, old business? Nope. Move on to new business then. We have a salary ordinance here, ordinance 2025-05. I'll let Chris go over that briefly real quick.
Yes, this is, as you are aware, we have the grant, the Rural Alliance Water for Chris O'Neill. And part of this grant is once he completes training in this, that he gets a salary increase. Again, they're paying for this. So I had asked Josh to do it as a apprenticeship program through them, just an upgrade to the salary ordinance for that position. I'm just asking if you all approve it. I mean, it's not costing us any funds.
Anybody have any questions over that? Seek a motion to approve that.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Joe. Your second? Second by Mike? Yep. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? 5-0.
We need to suspend the rules on it.
Josh, we need to suspend the rules on that. When do you need to take effect?
Retroactive this week.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Motion to suspend the rules and pass on second and third reading.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? 5-0. Second reading.
Motion to pass on second and third reading.
Your second?
I'll second.
Second by Brandon. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? 5-0.
Thank you.
Good on salary ordinance now?
Yep.
All right. We'll move on. You wanna do the comp?
Sorry, it's being larger. My bad. We just, that's enough.
You do comp last or do?
Go ahead and do it now.
Okay, we'll go ahead. We have Amy here, to go over the comprehensive plan.
All right, just here in case you have questions, I can make sure I can grab any pages, but, I think I know most all of you. I'm Amy Lowe Williams, have been going through the comp plan process with the city. Now we're working on the ordinances. I have a presentation, I think most people have seen it already, maybe one might not, or two might not have, so I can go through any questions, but figured that was probably not needed to plug in and do a whole, thing here, but, basically the planning commission did have a public hearing. had a favorable recommendation to council for adoption of the comprehensive plan. And they have a couple of amendments that were sent to Melissa and Chris. So, again, it was changing a couple of the future land use areas, or one area on the future land use map, adding a gateway on 256, adding advisory to your plan commission, just to specify you guys are advisory versus area. Reworking a little bit of language on the reviews, and then also adding just the current zoning map to the existing conditions, more just a reference point in time. And you know, that will change probably here when the ordinance get, adopted and whatnot. So I know, again, most have definitely been through this in much more detail, but I can go through anything, or you can pull it up on the screen if you want any questions that,
So there was a steering committee that, like some of us were on. It went through that, then it went to the area planning commission. They approved it there. I think Stacy, Mike, you two would be the only ones that may have not seen. Have you seen
I have
it?
not, I would like to though.
Okay. Do you have a copy? You could
I've got
share it there.
digital PDF on here. I don't have a hard copy, but
You want to plug in?
yeah, if you want me to, I can just plug it in, my probably easier. I can give you. Get that to you. All right. Yeah. Do you want me, I got a PowerPoint that summarizes it, and I have the actual plan. It might just be
Yeah.
more helpful if I do a quick little summary.
Sure, yeah, that's.
All right. So we can cover a little bit of the overview of what the plan is and some of our next steps here too. So overall, the first 3 tasks for updating the comprehensive plan, so it's your rolling range document on how the city kind of wants to strategically grow. The next tasks, that's what we're in currently, are updating your zoning ordinance, and you actually don't have a subdivision ordinance how you divide land. So that's getting done currently. We'll be back to you guys here, more towards the end of this year to work through some of that adoption. So when we look at the comprehensive plan, there's 3 sections to that, kind of where Austin is today, what is the vision for the future, and then how do we get there through implementation steps. A big key component of that too, though, is your future land use plan. So that just says, if that land use changes, what should it be in the future? And so really that outlines where should we have housing areas or commercial areas or mixed use areas, industrial growth, and that sort of thing. And one of the proposed changes from the Planning Commission that came with the recommendation was, and I'm not gonna be tall enough, the area between Christie and the interstate, that little kind of polygon area up there, should be included as a future residential growth outside of the city limits. So we could, that was one of those recommendations, a residential growth area kind of in that northwest area of the city. So again, this is just a tool that you guys would use and Planning Commission would use, more so as people come forward and say, I want to rezone my property. What that would give you guidance. It's one of the 5 criteria by state statute that you look at is this comprehensive plan idea. So it's not the end all be all, but it should give us guidance into how the city wants to grow and what uses those should be in the future. What we've also done is looked at what area around the city the city may want to take jurisdiction of in the future. So Indiana code allows up to 2 miles in terms of an extraterritorial jurisdiction, like jurisdiction for zoning outside of your area. The little leg that you kind of see that goes off to the east, that's an easier one because it is your utilities service area right now. So the city can take that into their planning. Currently, you're doing jurisdiction in that area. The other kind of brownish area is that 2 mile, up to a 2 mile fringe, and that could be worked out with the commissioners in terms of who would have jurisdiction over that, the city or the county. I'm feeling it's a little maybe unknown still. And then obviously the little bottom part is Scottsburg coming up as well. So we want to include the entire thing so you have options as we work through the ordinance section. It also includes transportation. So we looked at really sidewalks were one of your biggest items for transportation improvements, as well as some of the gateways. So that was one on 256, that we wanted to add an extra gateway idea, just, it could be a sign, simple as a sign saying, welcome to Austin. It's really just identifying you are here. But again, we even looked at priorities in terms of sidewalks. So the red is the highest priority, yellow was kind of that middle moderate priority, and then the blue was the lower priority, but still in the 20-year vision of where the city wants to kind of go.
Have we taken into consideration widening roadways?
I don't believe so.
Something to think about whenever we talk about widening or implementing sidewalks as well. Roadways are fairly narrow.
And that's something for new roads, we will take into account for sure in the zoning and subdivision control side of things, so like the new subdivisions coming in, what should that road width be? Because currently you don't have standards on that. And it hasn't been a huge issue because you feel like you're having big subdivisions coming in, but we want to make sure you so it does come in, it's built to a standard that you can maintain too easily, and it's not, becoming a burden over time. So the plan does kind of include 3 levels. It includes goals, there's 5 goals in here. It includes strategies, which are kind of giving a little more direction, and then it includes action steps. What should we do and when? And as we started to kind of go through those, there are 5 goals. 1 goal is on housing, 1 is on quality of life, 1's on transportation and utilities. The 4th goal is about interchange in downtown, so specific areas of development. And then the last one was on local services and initiatives. And again, under each one of those each goal, we have a number of strategies. So our plan includes 19 strategies. You can kind of see how those get broken out. It's just the idea of, if we have a goal of, creating a diverse housing, stock here, we have 3 strategies that start to break that goal down. And then the action steps further break that down into how do we actually do that, right? And those are all put onto a timeline, either a short, mid, or long-term timeline. Again, this plan is 20 years. It's a guide, it's not a rule. It's not thou shall, right? It is a guide and a direction for you all, and also for others in the community that are maybe doing things, either public or private. So you can kind of see, again, most strategies usually get concentrated in short terms. As you finish those, you'll start to populate more things, right? You'll get something done, and then you'll be able to kind of move to that next thing, and more will start to populate over time. So we do kind of break down each of those, but some of the big things initially were housing, looking at incentives. It doesn't mean it's financial, it could be zoning bonuses or zoning incentives even. We're creating the right zoning districts to allow the housing to come in. For example, townhomes are not in a district right now, like that can't happen by right now. Looking at infill, again, how do we fill in some of these older lots and make them productive? Neighborhood parks was an item that was in the shorter term, expanding the sidewalk network, again, strategically and incrementally. Wastewater treatment plant, that's already underway and happening. Interchange development, so how do we start to attract the right things to the interchange? Downtown is the same idea. And starting to explore the idea of some sort of community center or shared municipal center, right? In usually the downtown area. And then also continuing that marketing strategy that you guys have already started. How do we perpetuate that and continue that on? So those are some of your short-term items for strategies in the plan. And then each of those have a set of action steps as well. So again, the Plan Commission did give a favorable recommendation, and these were the 5 items. They wanted to add that residential growth area, kind of the northwest side that I kind of pointed out, add a community gateway on the map on 256, add the word advisory to Plan Commission, just to specify you're an advisory on an area Plan Commission. It used to be area when you were with the county. And then add a recommendation, we had one for quarterly review, just more a regular review, kind of a little bit looser terms there. And then put the current zoning map in just for reference, even though again, there's a knowledge that's a point in time, right? As we go forward. So what we were looking for was again, adoption from the council. It goes through the same process that a rezoning would. So it goes to the Planning Commission, they have a public hearing, make a recommendation, it comes to council, and council gets to have that final kind of say on that. I can also pull up the document then for you here. put that here for you.
Do you have a page in that, on the community input for the 2 events that we did?
Yes, we did have a number of public events. I will actually go to the very end. Those are, I only go, I think we went over. Sorry, I'm like not used to looking at it on a different screen here. So we do have, I think, we do a quick summary. So we did have, again, a number of public, we had a steering committee that had a number of you all on it, planning commission folks, mayors on that, as well as even some of the other folks like your consultant or your engineer, some other key folks that maybe are involved in things in the community or the city. We did have a couple of public events too. So we had one of them at one of the high school basketball games. So we could, again, grab folks that maybe wouldn't have participated. We had actually high school kids come. A lot of the cheerleaders were pretty active and wanted to come and participate. So I thought that was really great. But we also, prior to that, had one here as well. And we had an online survey as well. So we had a couple of, again, number of comments just from those meetings. And then at the end of the plan in the appendix, and I'm gonna, oops, I hit the wrong button. At the end of the plan, we also have those broken out in a little bit more detail. Let me get to the appendices here. So each meeting we do have a summary in there for that as well. So first steering committee meeting, second steering committee meeting, third, fourth, and then the public meeting that happened here, that was in October. And then we also had the second public meeting in January at the high school at the basketball game as well. So I can answer, I know that your time's always valuable too. I can't go into any details you might want, but don't want to over talk.
Do you guys
I'd
have
like
more
to
questions?
have a copy so I can actually review it. I don't know if I have one or not, but you know, if I have one.
I thought, did Melissa email those out, I thought?
I thought she did. I don't know. I had it.
Yeah, I know I got one, but I don't know.
I thought she,
Yeah, I've got one, but I thought Melissa emailed them out.
She did email it
I
out.
thought she did, but I don't swear to it.
Is this available for public consumption?
yeah, so it was in, like Melissa had a public review copy.
This very detailed document going over here. Is it available somewhere?
Well, it's not approved yet, but once it is
It would've
approved, it
been
would
in
be in
the-
the mayor's office.
Well, it would have been there already, 10 days prior to the planning commission meeting, she had a copy for public review if somebody came in and asked for it.
Electronically, will not be electronically available.
She had a PDF too, so I'm assuming that if you,
It's go on the
Email.
website
It's
eventually,
only a document name.
Almost. Once a week.
once the
I
website's.
believe
up
it's
and
got Energize
I mean,
Austin
get it on there,
Comp
but yeah, but I can get it on there. Can put it on.
Let me see. Yeah, Energize _Austin comp plan _.
I'm not seeing anything.
But I would not have been on the email sheet, like forwarded on.
I'm not seeing anything. Yeah, I would love to have a copy of it, though, so I can review it.
You have anything?
I need a copy of it too.
Just want to table?
Table it until next meeting? To give everyone a chance to review it.
At this point, yeah,
Okay.
for sure.
Oh, yes, sorry, Mayor.
Okay.
And do you want me to have Melissa forward that on?
Yeah, we can have Melissa set it up.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been asking, so that'd be great.
Okay.
Perfect.
So, your motion to table it?
Sure.
Okay. All in favor?
The second one.
Stacy? You taking it over?
I'm sure you're gonna find where
So,
And like, Brady, once, she does, even if you have questions, just email me or call me. We can answer any of those things so that you can get those answered and, you know what I mean,
Okay.
beforehand. And then, Melissa does have a copy of, she has a PDF too. So, I'm trying to direct everybody through her, so I'm not like the, you know what I mean, interim person, but I'm happy to make sure.
So-
I know you can.
so we'll table that next meeting, give everybody a chance to look at it, and then we'll vote on it next meeting.
That sounds good to me.
Super.
All
Thank you.
right, thank you guys.
Thank you.
All right, that moves us on to this resolution on a property transfer. I'll let Chris or Josh, one of you guys give an overview.
This is on 605 North Church. This is a property that the city had done some cleanup on and had removed a structure that was dilapidated. So we had several liens that had racked up on the property. The property then was listed for tax sale. The property did not sell, so the county commissioners then acquired a lien. So then the county had the right to sell or transfer that certificate, and the county commissioners transferred that tax sale certificate to the city a couple of years ago. So now the city is desiring to transfer the property to the redevelopment commission for the redevelopment commission to take further action. I think it's one of the lots that does have some possible interest
Corner lots, not lot.
in being developed.
All right. So I'll entertain a motion on that, for that property transfer.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Brandon. Here a second.
Awesome.
Second by Stacy. All in favor? All opposed? 5-0. Okay, anybody have any other new business? Joe? Roger, you have new?
No, I can't think of anything right now.
Anybody out here have new business? You have,
Well, I'm already not here in conversation with the mayor, trying to keep abreast of the disposition of the streetlights that are being taken out. You mentioned come to the meeting.
Yeah, we declared those excesses at noon today when we had the,
Excuse me?
Board of Works, we declared those excesses today at Board of Works meeting, so
Okay.
how many was you need? How many lights you gonna try out there?
Well, I think, the park might be interested in 30 of them. Now,
39 total.
39 total. There's 39 total.
39 total, guys. And I just guessed because we're going to 20 of them still standing, so. Yeah, and, our vision, our thought process is, to look into the, replacing the electrical internals with solar and putting those on the walking trail, because we had to thrift the solar lights out of the DNR project. And, our plan, looking at it, would be to put one adjacent to and then complement with the benches that are in place there, where we can potentially use the concrete pad for the bench and look at moving them over to the edge. Now, in terms of excess, if excess, you're gonna sell them, the other 9 or whatever, you say declare excess.
We can cut them all excess, so we can dispose of them however we wish.
I mean, I would say see what the Parks Board wants,
Yeah.
and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, because, I personally would be interested in whatever's left.
Would you need to, cut down trees and things in order for the solar
Hmm?
to work well? Would you need to cut down trees for the solar to work well?
Well, this is potential, but, we have to look into it. And, our vision would be to, put them wherever we can in conjunction with the benches. And then, if they're in the far northeast corner, which is probably the most, tree populated, we might not be able to go that far back and put another place with different thought. And 30 is just a finger in the air. I once upon a time walked and there was 31 benches, but like where there's 3, we don't put 1, things like that. Yeah, so we would be very much interested in moving pursuit. I realize that they're, AC electric, 220 for some odd reason, I think that's a state requirement. But we would look at replacing the internals of the globe, with the solar light or the solar panel. Be tremendously less expensive to buy. The real, the cost of those lights is the base and the top is, well, whole deal under $4,500 down to the steel pole along the settlements, because we had them at our house.
In favor of so.
Yeah, I was just curious if we're, so we declared excess, and, the city code and Parks Department would be very interested in pursuing. And like I said, 30 years ago.
Do you have plans on replacing the sign over there?
Replacing what?
The sign?
No, we're
Or painting it?
yes, ma'am, we have plans on replacing the sign.
You've been asked that
Looking a
before.
little rough. Just a little bit.
Funny you should bring that up. Yes, that's a fact.
We actually are looking, actively looking at, what potential access we will have with the, grant. And probably the first highest priority thing, and we should have the bids in by Monday, I believe, is to, crack seal and, seal the walking path. We've got some rather attractive bids on that, the shop that said that we give it that. We got about 10, somewhere between $8,000 and $12,000 left that we can do, and we still have to buy the obstacles for the skate park. So we actually got 2 of those bids in today, and they came in. So
It's looking good over there. It looks good over there.
the sign which shocked me, is a good point, and I'm sure you guys look at it too. Titan Signs over in Salem, you can buy some really attractive, get some really attractive custom signs from them at a song. I mean, the one that we did at Campbell Park, that's the oval one with the indented picture and the banner underneath it, $280. I mean,
Well, we declared those excess earlier today, so I think you can just negotiate that with Roger. Whenever you decide how many you need for sure, and go from there, so I think we're good there. Any other new business from anyone?
I didn't have anything, but I did want to circle back on old business really quick. I know, and I keep talking about this in the only one, I feel like I'm very cliche right now, but the recycling component, did we extend hours for that yet?
For the recycle?
Mhm.
No, we have not.
Okay,
We did get a camera, just get a camera installed last week,
okay,
so we haven't done anything on the hours. But we did have, just for y'all's information, we had, about 53 loads dumped out there for the cleanup. Filled 3 dumpsters up so far, so they've taken advantage of it for the spring cleanup anyway.
We have the end of this week as well.
Yeah, we have just Thursday, Friday, and Saturday as well. So Shane was really pleased with the turnout so far, so.
good to have.
Anything else from anybody? Seek a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion.
Motion, your second?
I'll second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
5-0.